what kinds of things I need to do. I just feel like as Zerg, it's so easy because you just macro and then see what they're doing with your flying pylons.
Are we coaching your Terran or Zerg today? Which race are we doing right now?
Terran.
Okay, okay, good to know. So I need to know for my title.
I'm getting a little echo.
Yeah, I don't. Your mic's like I hear the tiny bit of echo in your mic. I don't know. I don't think it's me. At least I'm not positive because that means I would have to be playing out loud, and I.
Oh, maybe it's a. Hold on. Maybe it's.
Yeah,
I know what it
it's
is.
definitely echo
There
on
it
your
is.
side.
Yeah, it was that I had it open in the. I think it's because I have it open in this. Okay, now I just have the regular Discord. I had it in the open in the browser as well. Okay.
Okay.
You want me to pull those up?
Yeah. Start with your weakest matchup.
Probably ZV or TVZ, but I don't have any of those right now that I can find. How about just let's try to find a shorter game. This is a shorter game.
Okay, so if you don't have any TVZ, then you're gonna have two replays from one of the other matchups. So I'd probably choose your second worst for that.
They're all bad.
I know, but I'm talking about your statistically worst matchup. That's what we're focusing on.
Did you want control on this?
Yeah, please give me host. It's just better. I can pause when I need to.
Promote to lobby host. Okay.
So you have you have an 88% win rate this season. So are you showing me wins?
It's not that. It's just that I just played like like 5 games or 6 games just today, and it's been a while since I played Terran.
Okay, so I guess we're just gonna focus on. I usually like looking at losses better because losses it's a whole different mindset. But I mean wins can work, but it's hard. Like when you're analyzing a replay, it's really hard to make yourself see what you're doing wrong when you ended up winning the game because it's like you didn't do stuff wrong enough to lose, and so in your head it's like, what is this dude talking about? And he's stupid. I won, you know, stuff like that.
Sure, I understand that, but I think you'll find a lot of mistakes, and I even see a lot of mistakes just in
Well,
playing.
I
So
will definitely find mistakes, but it just viewing losses, talking about the mistakes, it sticks more than viewing wins.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What league was this guy? I mean, it doesn't really matter, but
It's like we're like high silver, low gold, probably low gold.
turn my sound on my music on. Speed it up a little bit. Do you struggle with like normal, just solidly getting your build order out as Terran?
If I had a build order to start me on 2 bases against each race, that would be like really ideal. Because then I know I wouldn't make any, any early mistakes. And if I can get to that 2 base point, then I can kind of start macroing a little harder after that. But I just have trouble. I have trouble because I don't have scouting. It's so much easier to scout a Zerg, I feel like, and I don't know how to scout very well. I don't know how to get in the rhythm of Terran. It's just a lot of, I don't know. It's just I'm Diamond Zerg, but like silver gold Terran. I don't understand how it can be so different with a different race.
Well, it's just like the dynamics completely different, as in, like
Yeah.
you hotkey all your CCs on one hotkey, but your production on a different hotkey. Like Zerg, it's gonna be all your production and your bases are on the same hotkey, and it's fundamentally different. Not that I'm not saying that either is harder than the other, which I personally do think Terran is more APM taxing because missing, like, if you notice, if you ever watch pro games and stuff, a Zerg will take an engagement and they'll lose 50, 60 supply, and then it immediately comes right back up. And the way a Terran stays up in supply is they cannot miss their cycles. They have to be hitting their cycles of units while they're fighting and while they're doing that. So that's most likely going to be your problem, is you're going to be fighting and you're going to miss 2 or 3 unit cycles, and it's just going to add up to where you you just have less and less units as the game goes on. And the biggest thing I can tell anybody that's like pretty below diamond, I would say, is like, do not focus on your micro at all. Micro is not important. It doesn't matter if you lose 40 Marines to 10 Banelings. I mean, it's ideal not to, obviously, but if you have 50 Marines made behind that to repush, you know? It's just, if you can make more stuff and mine more than your opponent, that's all that's going to matter. So in this matchup, you should send out an SCV at around 55 seconds just to make sure he's not doing any stupid stuff like this.
Because okay, are you writing this down, or should I write this down? 55 second.
Yeah, you should probably write this down.
Hold on, just 1 second.
Oh, actually, I do have a pencil here, and my notepad's right here. But I mean, I'm only gonna write down your major mistakes that are something you need to fix throughout the game. This is just one thing. This is just one tiny tweak.
All right, TVP. What did you say? SCV at what?
Between 55 seconds and 1 minute. Send it out to your opponent's base.
Okay. All right.
So you see this pylon, and what's your reaction?
So I feel like it's not immediately a concern.
Well, I think if you see this pylon before you put your command center down, you should probably take your command center on the high ground.
Oh, okay.
If you're gonna do that, because that way it's not vulnerable. You're gonna get your CC up on a decent timing, and you're not like vulnerable to losing any SCVs.
Okay.
So if you scout a proxy, CC on the high ground. Also, I guess side note for this map in particular, you want to check this back little pocket.
The third?
Yeah, just because it is a good proxy spot for anybody. I've proxied there a couple times.
Okay.
But that's just map specific. Oh, something that I think will help is like this Reaper that you're making right now. I know it's part of a build order, but it's most likely gonna be a liability to you. As in, like, it's only gonna hurt you because it's gonna take your actions away that could be macroing and making more
I see what
units
you mean.
and doing like that.
Yeah.
So instead of getting a Reaper, I want you to make a reactor first and just make Marines for that bunker that you almost have done.
And that's in this matchup, right?
This matchup every matchup but TVT, because TVT a Reaper is kind of required. But
okay.
Also, since you need to, as soon as you hit 100 gas, you need a factory. Like, factory should be your first priority when you get 100. Like after your reactor, of course.
What's the timing on the factory?
It depends. I don't know. I don't really remember. Well, I guess we can check back, right? See if you went gas
for like
first
single gas.
Well, yeah, it all depends on if you went gas first or not, which is what we're about to find out. But you didn't. Okay, so you didn't go gas first, so the normal factory timing would be about 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
2:26?
Yeah.
Okay. Really, I think just having a general build order that I can use.
I know a lot of people, like, I'm weird because a lot of people base their judgments off supply, and I base my judgments off like time in the game. Because I always think that like things in game happen, your supply's not always going to be exactly where you want it to be. So I just try to get a good timing on everything. Because see, you're making this bunker, this Reaper's going to come out. Okay, if you're going for a 2-rack build like this, you need a reactor pretty quickly. And also, because you're making this Marine right now, your gas is just banking up and you have nothing to do with it. So you have all this gas, and it's not helping you in any way, if that makes sense. Like, it's not getting you further in the tech tree. You're not getting any of your needed upgrades or any extra
It's essentially floating, yeah. So I'm just wasting money that could be something that
could be minerals or a third command center or something like that. So you start a tech lab and a reactor, but see, if you start a if you went reactor first, which is what we want you to do, but even after the Reaper, if you went reactor immediately, you'd already have 6, 7 Marines right now. And so your supply would already be above 30, and your orbital would be done. This is in an ideal world, of course. Also, that's a huge thing, by the way. As soon as your CC finishes, make an orbital. And you see, this Zealot wouldn't even be a problem if you had 6, 7 Marines. It would do nothing. But instead, oh, well, this Reaper gets 1 probe kill, but you're floating 450 minerals, you don't have a factory, and you have no orbital command. So, who's really getting the better value out of this Reaper right now? So you just now started Sim. I'm just... The reason why you think you can't get the rhythm with Terran is because it's all about little things that add up. You're a second late here, you're 5 seconds late here, you're 7 seconds late here, like you were 20 seconds late on your stim. That means every single push you're doing is about 20 seconds later than it should be. Because, like, everything just gets you a little bit more behind, and you can't get in the rhythm because that gives, like, your stim's 20 seconds late. That gives a Protoss and a whole extra warp in, right? Of units to defend, when your Marines could have been there 20 seconds sooner, just hypothetically, of course.
Is the factory 226? Is that after a reactor on the barracks?
Yeah, that should be your second barracks should already have been down, and a reactor on your first barracks, and then a factory. And as soon as your factory finishes, once you get 100 gas, you put down a starport, and 50 gas, you put down a reactor. You're doing basically a 16 Marine timing, and this can work in every single matchup.
Okay, and then after the factory is the tech lab for the barracks?
Well, the second barracks should always have a tech lab. The first one should be a reactor, the second one tech lab.
But when is the timing on that? Is it like after the factory or is it after the starport?
The barracks, your second barracks should come down right after you throw down your second command center.
For the tech lab, I mean.
It's gonna be
for stim.
Stim should start at 302. I don't really know, like, I never think about tech lab timing. I just think when the second barracks finishes.
I think it's you use the gas after the factory, I think.
I can figure it out right now. I got you. So, let's start here again. We're going to get to where your second command center should go down at 140. So, the second command center, like... This is what I mean when I'm saying everything's like a couple seconds behind. Like, it's already 146, 6 seconds. So as soon as that, yeah, you immediately throw it on second barracks. This is good, except for, so right now you're at 89, 94 gas. You should be thinking about your factory. You should be building an SCV, getting your second depot, and getting your second gas right now. So second gas.
And I should have a reactor as well.
Yeah, and then so right now this SCV that's rallying out. 223, it's going to finish perfect timing, and then it's going to start factory 226. That's a good thing to think about. Your 20-second SCV should be your one that builds the factory. So you see your tech lab, as soon as your barracks is done, your second barracks is done. So that would be, when did your second barracks finish? Go back to here. Your second barracks finished at 245, so I guess you can say tech lab at 245.
245, perfect.
And I think in any matchup, if you see they're going to one-base you, which this guy's obviously doing, and you're going for a 16 Marine timing, don't start your starport, make a tech lab on your factory, and build tanks, because tanks are really good at holding bushes. Because you're already a base ahead, you already have a mule. Every mule is worth 5 SCVs, so... Also, you see this pylon warping in, so that should, like, throw a red flag. And okay, when you see a dude doing this fancy of micro, when he's microing like this, you should think in your head, he's not spending his money, he's not like macroing and stuff like that right now. He's focused on these stalkers. So if you just make your units and get more ahead right now, that's all that matters. As long as you keep your money down, you're going to end up winning. So he trapped himself in a corner here, which makes him lose almost all of the stalkers. You don't even have to micro here. Like you see, you stutter step those Marines for 10 seconds, and now you're at 800 minerals right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like just a click. It doesn't matter if all your units die, as long as you have more to replace them.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do all this fancy stuff you see the professionals do, but that's the thing. You're not professional. You got to start with the basics and then move on.
Mm-hmm.
Third command center, that's fine. Combat shield, that's good, and +1. But you're not really producing SCVs that well. Like, you're only at 24 right now, and I know he killed some, but you should still be just SCV, SCV, SCV constantly, all the time. Honestly, it'd be better if in the late game you accidentally had 86 SCVs than you only made 50. Okay. It's just producing SCVs, it's gotta be a constant thing. I'd probably say SCVs even over units for what, like if you have 100 minerals and your barracks aren't making anything right now, at neither of your command centers, you probably want to say I want to start 2 SCVs instead of I want to start 2 Marines. Okay.
If you had a choice.
Yeah. Especially, and you always have a choice when you're doing a build like this, because it's like it's really hard to find a balance of when to make SCVs and when not to. And also, this depot being up is not really helping, but that's okay. It's not that big of a deal.
What's that?
Your SCVs and Marines are stuck in your base because your depot's closed.
Oh.
See, right now, we're gonna count. We're gonna go back to when you made your last SCV. So your 2 is about to finish. All right, so this is the last SCV. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 14, 15. It's already been 15 seconds since you made another SCV. You could have 4 more right now. 18, 19, 2, 23, 25. This is already up to 3 more sets of SCVs that you could have had right now. And I know you're supply blocked, but I know you also have energy to supply drop, so that's besides the point. Also, using mules will help you get way ahead. Your command center should never have 180 energy until like the late game. Just use your mules or scans, but preferably mules. SCVs, I cannot, yeah, that's going to be one of my big things I write down. Because you're doing all this fancy medevac drop stuff, but you don't have any workers, so it's like instead of in a normal situation, if you were making all of your workers, if you killed workers with this drop, it would put you ahead. But since you're not making workers, it's only going to make you even. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Balak, good luck in your tourney, man. Like your orbital command, this is, yeah, just gotta spend your energy. You're up to 150, that's 6 mules. 6 mules is worth 30 SCVs mining right now. That would literally double your income. You're mining about 1,000 right now, you'd be mining about 2,500. Just from dropping your mules. But instead, you're clicking on medevacs. Instead of producing more Marines, making more tanks, making more medevacs, making SCVs, all the things that are required to win. But you're looking at these medevacs because you're like, I want to stim Marines and I want a micro.
I got that probe.
You're right. You did get that probe. Good job. But see, this is what I'm talking about. How many probes did you just kill? You just
One.
killed 7 probes. But now he's still 8 ahead of you because you're just not making them. Also, can I get 900? Give me 9. Give me 900 minerals. Can I get 1,000? Oh. Are we gonna go to 1,100? Oh baby, these Marines being stutter stepped, but you know the minerals going up to 1,100. Can I get 12? 1250. Oh, he saved 5 Marines. But you see, you've missed 3 cycles worth of units. You've missed 7 or 8 cycles worth of SCVs. Your 3rd command center's not landed. Like, this is the reason you feel like you can't get in the flows because you're focused on these Marines instead of focused on building.
Mm-hmm.
You
So
gotta be building up your
I guess it'd be good to practice maybe how can I, you know, place my units within my own base maybe. Like these guys maybe could be sitting in my own base and I could be focusing more on my macro.
Well, moving out is fine. I just don't. I want you to not care if this stuff dies. I want you to just think of like, when you click into his base, you can stim whatever. I don't care.
And then go back to my base,
Yes,
and
look
then
back,
then just focus entirely on
never focus
macro.
on your army for more than 5 seconds. 5 seconds is a maximum.
Never focus
on
army.
Yeah, never focus on anything for more than 5 seconds.
More
That's a good.
than 5 seconds. Okay, that's a good rule. I like that. All right.
Let's see. So okay, you gotta I'm not gonna keep beating an old bush, but just spend your money. I want you to for the first 7 minutes until you get up to 3 bases and 66 SCVs. I don't want your money to go over 1,000.
Okay.
I don't care how that has to happen. If that means you have to put down like a bunch of extra barracks and factories and eBays and all that good stuff, then do that. But
yeah, that really helped me with Zerg. Was like make queens, make hatcheries. You know, don't flood.
Alright, so I wrote not flow over 1,000 until 7 minutes 30 seconds in game time. That's because if you can keep your money that low for that long, then you should be fine. You should be that means you're at least making somewhat of an army. Because we've seen it's been 8 minutes and we've seen your minerals hit over 1,000 4 times. Also, the third base could have been landed like 3 minutes quicker, but that's okay. A good third base timing is you want it between 6 minutes and 6 minutes, or between 6 and 7:30. That's what you want for a good third base timing.
Okay.
Landed already in orbital, by the way, because anything past that, you're kind of putting yourself more into an all-in position.
Mm-hmm. Just where you can't keep up with them, basically.
Yeah. Oh, does he kill this base?
Yeah.
This is when you just stem everything and aim move. Also, those Marines, if they would drop out of that medevac.
That was it.
So, the 3 things we got from that game were build your SCVs, spend your orbital energy, and don't float over 1,000 until 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And I mean, of course, we got beginning build order stuff, but beginning build order stuff usually leads up to later pushes and stuff like that, and that stuff doesn't matter if you can't build SCVs and spend your money, because those later pushes are going to be nil or non-existent if that stuff can't come into play first. Basic macro mechanics is more important than hitting your timings. Timings come later. Alright, load the next one up.
All right. I have a feeling we're gonna see some themes here.
That's usually how it goes. Because I mean, when you are lower than like diamond 2 and stuff like that, or diamond in general, I'm not gonna hit on any of your macro or micro because I don't want you to micro at all. Like micro should not be your thing. You should think, no, I'm not microing. Oops, didn't mean to pause. Alright. Alright, barracks. Okay, no. Oh, okay, this isn't you. I'm looking at the wrong person. I was like, second depot? No.
You looking at red?
Yeah, I was like, second depot? No. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Okay, gas first versus random is fine. Actually, you didn't even go gas first. That's okay. Either way. Alright. This guy's build is so bad. Your build's looking okay so far, except for what's your follow-up tech? If you're gonna do a build like this in TBT, you need to either get a second racks or a factory by a minute or by 2 minutes. That's a good thing. In TBT, you either want a second barracks or a factory by 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes.
Also, never mind, that's not a big deal. Okay, this is a pretty big deal though. This SCV, this depot does not need to come down because your CC is about to finish, and you don't need to build that depot until 38 supply.
I'm oversupply. Okay.
Yeah. Like, you're building this depot at 26 when this depot should be built at 38 supply. That's between 38 and 40 supplies when you want that next depot. When you want your third depot. Because now you're 27 to 54. You're literally doubled in supply. For no reason. When you could have 2 extra SCVs or 2 extra Marines, you know? Also, you literally chased that Marine and banked out 500 minerals. You talked about a pattern. It's just stuff that has no effect on the end game whatsoever is what you're focusing on, and that's doesn't need to be the case. Like, even this hidden base, who cares? Who cares if he has a hidden base? As long as you make more stuff than him. It's like you want to go bio, but your stem could already be started. Like, everything's just a little bit late. Oh my god, he's even making a planetary. He has 2 hidden bases, who cares? As long as you make more stuff than him. That's gonna be the theme here. Macro is so important in lower leagues. It's all about macro. Alright, what are these turrets for?
I have no idea what's going on over there.
Did you scan him?
No, and that's
so if you
that's
don't know
what
what's going on, then you scan.
What's that? Is there a general timing on that, like 3:30 or 4 minutes?
336 is when you that should be when you have perfect orbital energy to scan his base, and it's perfect timing for cloak to start and stuff like that.
Scan base, and then look for like tech lab on a
starport. That's all you're looking for.
Okay.
Also, these turrets are in terrible spots. You want them
Oh,
in the
if
direct,
it's a Banshee?
Yeah.
Yeah, inside the mineral line.
Or even if it's a Liberator, Banshee or Liberator, these turrets are terribly placed. Just because, like, he can just... If his Liberator comes right here and just sieges over your CC, this turret's doing nothing.
Okay.
Burninator, this is a win for our guy here. But, Yeah, turrets in middle of mineral line. Like always in the middle, like dead center. It just protects the most area. So you see your drop, like, as long as you're focused on your macro, it doesn't matter, like, when your drop is or where it is either. You're not even hotkeying it, which is, like, a beautiful thing to me. Alright. 800 minerals right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, can I get 1,000? 12. 13. So yeah, cool. You killed a starport, a depot, and a raven. That's worth about 700 resources, but you've banked about 1,500. So you could have your attachments on your labs, or your barracks done. You could have about triple the marine count that's at the bottom, more medevacs and tanks, along with your upgrades right now. But stutter stepping these marines against the starport is more important right now. It's just
So
it's all about your decision making. F
Okay.
micro. Just I want you to write the word micro and just put a big X on it, like the fattest X you've
No
ever
micro.
drawn. None.
No micro. 5 seconds each screen.
And like now that you're kind of looking at your base again, you're still having trouble spending your money because you just banked up so much that you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
So
And then I just took a bunch of mules.
Yeah, well, your thought process shouldn't be, well, mules, you need to drop mules, but shouldn't be like, yeah, you do need more gas, but right now I know what you're doing. You're thinking I need to spend my money, so you're doing whatever you can to spend it, and that should be throw down 3 more barracks and another factory.
Okay.
On 3 bases in TVT, you want 2 factories and 8 racks.
3 base. 2 factory. How many?
8
How many
barracks.
8 racks. And is that like 2 and 6 or 1 and 7?
Wait, what?
1 and 7, like reactors and tech lab.
Well, in TVT, yeah, you only want reactors. Like the first, you can leave the
1 to
1 barracks
7.
with the tech lab, yeah.
Right. Okay. 1 to 7. 3 base, 2 factory.
Unless
8
you're
racks.
playing, if you're playing against mech though, then you want even ratio like 4 to 4.
Okay. And then it's more like 4th base, depending on what they do. Maybe a 2nd starport for like ranged liberators or something like that.
If you're still going biotank on 4 bases, you want 10 racks, 3 factories, and 1 starport.
Okay, 10 racks, 3 factory, 10 racks, 4 base. Okay. All right.
Also, I mean, you're not like you're actually using your mule when you do this game. I have to give you credit, but just every time an SCV finishes a depot, just start another one. Like once you get to like 3 bases, every time your SCV finishes a depot, it needs to start another one.
A 3 base, non-stop, depot. I could almost queue them, couldn't I? And then go back to that area.
No, but that's just the the goal is to not have enough money to queue them, right? That should be.
Yeah, but like if I queued 2, I mean like queued a second one, and then I went over there and looked at it.
That's fine.
Just queued another after.
This guy is very ambitious. What a guy. So, see, your production's just super late right now. Also, combat shields. Combat shields is a must-get upgrade in all matchups all the time.
Yeah, it's gonna be... It's gonna make you a little bit upset when you see when I get combat shields.
Well, it's just
It was
I
very
wanna
frustrating for me this game when I realized that I didn't have it.
supply. Okay, I want the difference in combat shields and not having combat shields. I hit on this so much when I talk to Terran players. If you have a 1-1, if you have a 3-3 Marine with no combat shields against a 1-1 Marine that has combat shields, and you put them head to head, the 1-1 with combat shields will win. That's how much of a difference combat shield makes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I realized that. I learned that.
Yeah, combat shields
It
makes
was,
up for four upgrades.
it was not. It was definitely an oversight. It was not like I don't feel like I need to have combat shields. It was more like I just completely forgot.
Yeah, I mean that happens. But just the thing right now is like, yeah, cool. You have stim. Your units run a little faster, shoot a little faster, but he has combat shield, so he wins.
Uh-huh.
Like, okay, a good rule of thumb: combat shield should always be done before 2-2. Always. Before you start 2-2. And I want you to like not worry about dropping until just worry about big army pushes, because like I said, who cares if you use all your unit? Like, cool. You know what these medevacs are gonna do? I'm predicting the future right now. These medevacs are gonna make you float at least 1,600 minerals right now, at least.
How do you know?
Yeah. All right, we're at 1,000, 1,100. Just going up. All right, he sees the medevac. He boosts. 15. 16. Oh, my bad. I was a little off. It's a little higher than that. So yeah, you stem to kill a base. Cool. 2,200. Like, you could have been maxed a couple times over by now by just spending your money. Like, your supply, how many Marines you could make? You could have an extra 69 Marines right now, and that's a funny number, but still, an extra like that adds an extra 69 supply to your army. That you couldn't even hold that many more Marines. Like, you would be maxed. That's my point. Oh no, what am I talking about? 49, not 69. I'm dumb. Wrong maths. Quick maths, not my thing. Yeah, my bad. Wrong maths. Also, okay, you want your fourth base by 10 minutes. 10 minutes is the latest you want to get your fourth base.
And you said the third base was 6 minutes to 7:30.
Yeah. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Cool, you cancel another command center. 3,200 minerals. Let me guess. Seeing that CC makes you all army and attack it. Or at least
I
part
don't
of your
use all army.
You probably should. I mean, I know everybody says it's good not to, but I use it. It's good. Okay, let me rephrase that. All army key is bad, but there is a time and place for it, you know?
Sure.
There's a time and place when you need all your army units right now. I'm gonna kill this fool right now, or I'm about to die. I need everything here. There's a time and place for it. Oh, no combat shields. The planetary is one-shotting these Marines.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what was happening here. I really didn't understand what was going on. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You see the difference?
This is where I was,
His
this is where I
upgrades
was
are
really
terrible.
confused.
Oh, and now that he's at your front door, this is when you decide to spend your money. Not when you had all the time in the world to build all your army without him even touching you, but when you're dying. That's when you're like, oh, maybe this 5,000 minerals could be put to use. Still no combat shields.
This is so confusing to me. Like, why am I losing all these fights?
Oh, also, battle cruisers are good.
Yeah.
Combat shields would make you take 3 more BC shots per Marine. Oh, suddenly your minerals are 2,000 less now. Burninator, this guy failed to research Stimpack this entire game, so I think our friend here has a little bit better of an idea.
There's combat shields.
Yeah, combat shields though. That's why his Marines are living. Yeah, you
Oh,
remember what
the other guy?
It's
the
funny.
other guy failed to research STEM.
Yeah, he doesn't have stem.
Oh my god.
But oh yeah, he does. Never mind. He hasn't used it this whole game. But I just want to point this out. Okay, I've used this reference this entire time I've been playing StarCraft, and I've never seen this happen until right now. He has 1-1 and combat shields, and you have 3-3 and no combat shields, and his Marines are still living. No, that is not a true statement, Burninator. Marines without combat shields are made of paper mache. Marines with combat shields are like that flimsy cardboard stuff, you know? No longer paper. Also, don't stim all your Marines unless you have enough medevacs. Like,
Okay.
medevacs would, since you're just making Marines, who cares about Vikings? Make medevacs.
Okay.
Also, drop your mules. If you have 7 mules right now. 7 mules times 5 SCVs, 35 more SCVs only purely on minerals right now. So you would be ahead of him again in workers, technically, in income at least. But I mean, half of his workers aren't even mining efficiently. He has 32 idle SCVs right now. 32. So I take that back. He's only mining with 16 SCVs at the moment. Also, this is what I mean by medevacs. You keep stimming. Your Marines are down to 7 HP. Need medevacs. Let me guess. As soon as you see this, you stim again. I'm predicting the future. Oh, never mind. I lied. I'm sorry. We'll do this math right now. Or we'll do it later, actually. After this.
I figured it out.
Finally, at the 19-minute mark.
I just couldn't understand why I couldn't win those fights when I was... What am I? I'm 3-3
I just
now.
want
He's
to point
1-1.
this out right now. Units, you have 56 Marines. So when this upgrade finishes, you're going to add 560 HP to your army. Give me that extra HP. There you go. And now you actually, it's like you heard me, but like in the past. Medevacs and combat shields, finally. And let me guess, as soon as you see this, full stem, full stem. Okay, also, a stem lasts 15 seconds. You fought for about 3 seconds there and then decided to stem again. Don't stem until you see the little red lightning bolt above their head. That's like, oh, we're out of stem. Because that just loses you, yeah. Because when their stem goes off, when their stem starts, a green bolt comes above their head. But when it goes off, a red one does. So, you know when it goes off, so you can stem again after that. But if you just stem before that, you're losing a lot of HP.
Okay.
Research complete.
Yeah. Someone just did the math for me. Combat Shields is a 22% health buff. Like, you were missing 1/5 of your health on your army this entire game. It's so important.
Alright.
We can probably do one more if it's a quick one. Because, I mean, and there's honestly not that much more to touch on. I see your main issues.
Yeah, I think if I practice these things, that'll help. Let's see. That's good. We can fast forward through this one.
Alright, give me a minute. Alright, good luck, Black. Alright, I'm back.
Hey.
Gotta run? What do you mean? You have to go right now?
Oh no, the chat. I was in the chat talking to people.
The Digital's, it's the funny thing is you're not wrong. He probably will be Plat 2 by tomorrow if he gets combat shields. Alright. I'm gonna speed through this one. Build order. Barracks gas. I just want to see, like, right now in this, I'm just looking for any major mistakes that actually impact the game. Okay, no. No, 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 no. Never attack lab on your first barracks. Okay. I don't care if it's some fancy marauder thing you're doing right now. No.
Okay.
Reactor, Marines are good.
Okay.
Marines are really good units. So, and always, like, this is just slowing down any tech. Okay, you could make an argument. Concussive shells is a technological upgrade, yeah, but it's not going to win you the game.
Okay.
Stim, combat shields, and +1 is going to win you the game. So a second barracks, like you're getting Marauders to hold cheese, I know you are, but literally against the Protoss a minute ago, you did a bunker and you held just fine. You're trying to be cute and put on pressure, and what did we say earlier? No micro.
No micro.
None. Like, 0.
I didn't have a chance to learn yet.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You naded a Stalker. 600 minerals before the 5-minute mark. Cool, that one Stalker died. That's all cute. Oh, 2 Stalkers? Oh, pull back micro. Oh god. You killed 3 Stalkers, had 900 minerals. Actually, no, let's add this up. 50, 150, 225-ish, and then 400. So, 725. So you had 1,200 minerals. My bad. Got that a little wrong. So you see, if you'd have just had this bunker in the first place, and I don't care, Marauders are good against Stalkers, and against Protoss in general, but if they're at home and then you just make a big push with +1 stim, concussive, combat shield, whatever you want, then you just roll over him. You don't do some fancy, oh, I killed 2 Stalkers, but
right, just do a move out instead.
Like, with the amount of time it took, your 3rd command center could be done and floating over right now. It's all like the Terran is literally all about tiny little minuscule seconds that you're missing in your build. It's so precise that, like, that's why I tell Terrans, like lower Terrans, just focus on the build. Who cares if your units die? Just get them, just build them, build more of them, you know? Like Zerg, you can just kind of, whatever, I can do whatever I want, but Terran, it's like, well, Zerg can be like, oh, I'm going to Baneling Buster, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this cheese and this cheese. Terran, it's like precise, precision, timing. That's it. Until you get enough to steamroll them. That's Terran's goal. Nice job hearing that, by the way. That was good.
Hearing that?
Hearing the observer. Because when it gets in its little observing mode, you can hear it in your headphones.
Oh, I couldn't hear it. I have hearing loss.
Oh, feels bad, man.
I saw it.
Good. Same thing. Good enough. You killed it. That's the point. Oh, this fancy micro. Fancy 1,500 minerals you got there. You see my point, right?
Yeah. I get it.
I don't care if 3 Marauders die to a Disruptor if you have 15 more Marauders at home to replace them, right?
Right.
Like, this army that you just rallied up with could have been 3 times as big. 4 or 5 times as big. You could be maxed with all this money. That is debatable, Digitals. We'll debate it later, though. I know you love to complain, so... So yeah, you killed him. I just want to point out your money at the end of the game.
Yeah.
The biggest point in all 3 of these replays has just been spend your money and don't micro.
Okay. That's good advice.
Alright, so... I'm going to put these in order of importance. Alright, so we have I got 6 things from this session, and in order of importance it is constantly make SCVs, then don't float over 1,000 until 7.5 minutes. No micro, don't micro at all. Micro is just bad for you. Micro is bad for your blood, okay? 4,
Nice.
combat shields. Combat shields is so good. It's like the best upgrade in the Terran arsenal when you're going bio. 5, spend your orbital energy. You're having trouble with that the first game. You could have been so much further ahead, like, than you already were. if you just dropped your mules. And then lastly, this one's not that important, but turrets in the middle of the mineral line. It stops you from losing a bunch of SCVs to oracles or banshees or anything of that nature, you know?
Okay. Perfect. All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for your help.
I hope that you can use these in in your future games and that it somewhat helps, you know? That's the goal.
Yeah, I'll work on these and then I'll come talk to you again.
Yeah.
All right.
Get me back. Let me know how it goes.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Kyle.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bye.
All right. That was the conclusion of the